Hey, this is Tony from Real Rehab, coming today to talk about some hip stretches that you can do either in advance or after doing some of your riding. And so our first exercise here, we're going to again kind of use our yoga mat for a little stability. We're going to start in a half kneel. And what I want to do is think about really trying to make sure I'm stacking my ribs over my pelvis and not kind of arching through my back. And what we're going to do first is kind of an exercise to stretch out that psoas. So starting in this position, thinking about, again, keeping that nice stacked alignment, you're going to drive forward through your pelvis and just kind of start feeling a little bit of a pull across the front of that leg. And so just kind of ease into that, and then what we can do to also hit our other hip flexors is take this leg and actually step it out diagonally, and now instead of coming straight forward, we're going to drive diagonally forward, and you'll feel a slightly different stretch through here. And then we can also add in a little bit of kind of pull across our body, so in either of those stretches while you're holding, you can reach up and across, lengthening that whole side, and just get a little more kind of stretch through those muscles. Right, and so then from that position, we can take our leg, bringing it across our body, and we're going to do a little bit of a pigeon stretch. And so kind of finding the point where your hip will let you move. You're going to bring that other leg back behind you, and you're going to start feeling this as a stretch in that outer hip. You can set your leg down on the ground if you can. You can use your legs or your hands for a little stability. And again, you can think about driving straight forward, feeling that stretch. Once you're in this position, you can also walk your arms to one side, kind of change where you're feeling that. Also repeating out to the other side, and just really working to loosen up those muscles. Come back into the middle here. And from there, what we can do is using a chair or a bumper, you can do a little hamstring stretch, putting your leg up. And what we want to do here is we don't want to bend through our back. We want to really make sure we're stretching those muscles. So thinking about really trying to hinge forward at the hips, keeping your spine nice and straight. You're going to feel that pull all the way down that leg. Ease back up. And then again, we can now turn around using that bumper for support, or just trying to stand. We can do a little quad stretch, bringing your leg up. Trying to feel a little bit of that pull right across the front of the leg. Again, making sure that we're not like arching through our back, but keeping our spine nice and stacked. And then we can also now come down to the floor, doing another little kneeling stretch and kind of anchoring our foot up on that bumper or chair, coming into that same half kneel. And now we're going to get a stretch through that quad rather than just in that hip flexor. From this position, we can also increase our glute stretching by then leaning forward and really starting to feel that tension through your glutes, easing down into the floor. And again, we can do that same, walking to one side, walking to the other side to affect different areas. And then our last little bit of stretching, we're going to do using a little stretching strap. You could also do this with a belt. And so lying down on the ground, putting your foot through that strap, we're going to ease back, thinking about trying to keep our back nice and flat, and you're going to just lift that leg straight up towards the ceiling. Again, getting a nice hamstring stretch. From this position, you can add a little bit of active stretching by bending and straightening your leg. Or you can also bring it across your body to get a little more of that outside hip, or bringing it out to the side to get a little bit of the inside of the leg. If you don't have a strap, you can also do the same hamstring stretch by keeping a little bit of tension under the back of your knee, and again, straightening your leg out towards the ceiling and easing back down. And then our last little stretch here is just kind of loosening up that inner thigh. It's a nice wide stance, and we're going to do a little side lunge. So you're going to just sit back to one side, bending that leg, but keeping your other leg straight, feeling that stretch through the inner thigh, coming back into the middle, and then repeating on the other side. And so that's just a few little stretches to play with. Hopefully you like them.